Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how Andre Drummond could potentially make the Brooklyn Nets one of the best teams in NBA history. Now, hold up. I know there's probably a few Golden State fans or even, Chicago Bulls fans that are probably, mad at that statement. Like, they're not the best team, blah, 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 blah. I understand that. I am not saying they're the best team. I'm saying if you add Andre Drummond to the roster they currently have constructed, that he could make them potentially one of the best teams ever constructed. Now, am I saying they're better than the Bulls were? Are they better than the Golden State Warriors were when they went on their run? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they could be one of the best teams in NBA history if they are able to add Andre Drummond. I'm beginning to how they would have the most talented starting five ever, and just a whole bunch of things like that. So if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. I mean, if you're gonna watch the video, why don't you just give me a little something, you know? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, watch the video at least 50% through, or at least all the way through if you really like it. That would mean the world to me. Just get a little something. Just tickle the like button a little bit, tickle the subscribe button a little bit if you really liked it. Subscribe, stick around. The bangers all the time when I upload. So yeah, that would mean a lot. But yeah, like I said, if you like the video, like button, subscribe button. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. So my first reason for this video is going to be that if they get Drummond, they might put together the most talented starting lineup ever constructed. Because just look at it like this. If they add Andre Drummond to the four that they currently have, they would have a starting lineup that looks something like this. They would have a top 3-point guard in the league in Kyrie Irving, maybe the best shooting guard, probably the best shooting guard in the league and MVP candidate in James Harden, and another MVP candidate and probably the best scorer and maybe the best player in the NBA in Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, who although is not what he used to be, is still a very solid player, and then you would also have Andre Drummond. Their worst player in their starting lineup would be Blake Griffin. Just think about that. What starting lineup in the NBA right now could you put Blake Griffin in and say that he is the worst player? Now, yes, he's not an all-star level player anymore. He's not even really a star level player in any capacity right now, but he's still a very good player in the NBA, especially when he gets put in a situation that he can't succeed. Let's be honest, he wasn't winning nothing with Detroit no matter how good he could have been. He could have been MVP level. It didn't matter. He wasn't winning nothing in Detroit. But now he's with Brooklyn, and he's the 5th best player in his starting lineup, and no telling how good he could be now that he is put in a system for success. So, I mean, that is very interesting to watch. And then when Andre Drummond's your 4th best player in your starting lineup, well, you have something good. Because Andre Drummond, although he's kind of been dealt a bad hand going to the freaking Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers, I couldn't think of 2 worse places to go in the NBA to start your career off when you're a star level player like Drummond. But hey, he finally got a break and got put in Brooklyn. That, I mean, is going to be a very nice, very competitive team for the first time in his career, and I think he is a star level player and will start getting some recognition that he rightfully deserves. So I think for sure if they add Andre Drummond, this lineup will probably be one of the best in the entire NBA, maybe ever to be constructed. Because even if you look at the old Golden State Warriors lineup, when they were out here killing everybody when they have Kevin Durant on their team, this lineup is debatably better because, look, Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, although Steph Curry is the better player, I wouldn't say it is too drastically. I said they're on the same planet. Yes, Curry's better, but Kyrie Irving is, right there. Curry's A1, Kyrie's kind of A2, you know what I'm trying to say? So he's right there. James Harden is, well, better than Klay Thompson. I don't think you can deny that. Maybe Klay Thompson's a better fit for the system the Golden State Warriors ran at the time, but James Harden is just a better player. Obviously, Kevin Durant is going to even out with Kevin Durant, so they have the best player from that Golden State team now on the Brooklyn Nets, and then their 4th and 5th guys were Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond opposed to Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. So you know what I'm trying to say, Andre Drummond is leaps and bounds better than Kevon Looney, and Draymond Green and Blake Griffin, honestly, Draymond probably helps the team out more because he can pass and dribble a little bit, but Blake Griffin's about the same thing. So honestly, I think they kind of even each other out too. So their 5th man was nowhere near each other, and they probably had a debatably better star level talent on this team than the Golden State Warriors did at the time. So this is probably the best starting lineup, at least of this generation. And I didn't really watch the Bulls. A boy wasn't born yet, so I couldn't really tell you. But I'm going to assume that this starting lineup is probably going to be able to at least rival what the Bulls had. Now, as an all-around team, maybe not, but you really can't say they don't have a good team built, because even off their bench, now they have one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA in Joe Harris coming off their bench. Now, yes, Joe Harris ain't no star-level player or anything, but he's a very solid role player and is more than capable of running a six-man type role at any time. You have DeAndre Jordan would be coming off your bench, who's been playing very, very good as of late, and that's going to be a very, very good time to have DeAndre Jordan off your bench. That would be absolutely huge. So, I mean, that's just a very good seven-man rotation right there. Joe Harris and DeAndre Jordan. But then you throw in guys like Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet, all those guys, very solid players as well. So that is going to be so interesting how that works out. And then at all times, you can have a lineup where Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and James Harden are still on the court, and having resting Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and then boom, your team is still there. So it's not even like that they're going to fall off when their starters go out, because at no point in the game do all their starters need to be out. Now, yes, there are going to be parts in games where their starters are completely out, but for the majority of the game, their worst player on the court that was from their starting lineup is going to be Blake Griffin. So you could take out everybody on your starting lineup and only keep Blake Griffin in there, and you still have Blake Griffin on the court. That is crazy how good this starting lineup would be. Then you would compare that with Joe Harris and DeAndre Jordan coming off your bench. Well, this team is very, very interesting and could be one of the best teams ever built if they do reach the potential they could actually get to if they signed Andre Drummond. Now, my second reason why I think this team could be one of the best in NBA history ever constructed if they were to add Andre Drummond is because they would literally be one of the only teams I can think of that have no weaknesses. Now, look, the Golden State Warriors, although they were pretty much a video game in themselves with how they were built, and no one thought that was fair, they had a weakness in rebounding and a big man in the paint. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, although their defense isn't great, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan are going to help that a lot, as one of their biggest weaknesses as of right now is their rebounding and their paint defense, which is currently their two biggest defenses on the team. Well, Andre Drummond is a pretty large human being who can help with the rebounding and the paint defense, and also Blake Griffin is going to help with paint defense and rebounding. So you just got your two biggest problems out of the way, because you would have just added two big men. One of them is averaging damn near 15 rebounds a game right now in Andre Drummond, and then Blake Griffin can probably get you around 8 to 10 rebounds a game, and now you just added about 35 rebounds per game to your roster just right there, and your rebounding problem's gone. Andre Drummond can protect the paint. He's a very good shot blocker, very good at playing defense on the paint and inside the perimeter, and boom, now your paint defense is solved. So now your defense is even that much better, your rebounding is that much better, and your weaknesses are completely gone. And I don't know about you, but as a coach and as a team going against a team with no weaknesses, it would be very hard to know how to beat them, as now instead of exploiting their weaknesses, you would be exploiting their worst strength, which almost has never happened in NBA history, no matter what team you go through. That's how good this team could potentially be if they were to add Andre Drummond. Now, am I saying this is what they're going to be if they do this? No, because there's a very good chance injury could happen. Chemistry might not be there. Maybe the coaching just isn't there. But if they're coached right, if their chemistry develops fast enough and everybody stays healthy, particularly in the starting lineup, then this team has a chance to do something not many other teams could ever do, and that is have zero weaknesses on their roster, and it would be very fun to watch, as they would have the top 3 scorers in the NBA. Kyrie Irving, outside of Curry, and Damian Lillard probably is the best point guard scoring-wise, outside of Kyrie and Damian Lillard, and then James Harden is the best shooting guard. Kevin Durant is the best small forward, most likely. Blake Griffin is a top 15 power forward, so he's at least an average power forward at worst, and maybe a little bit below average, above average at this point. And then Andre Drummond is a top 10, maybe top 8 center in the entire NBA. So it's going to be very fun to watch how this team would play if they add Andre Drummond. And if they do add Andre Drummond, they better win the NBA Finals, because that is going to look really bad on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and James Harden as well if they aren't able to win the finals and their two worst players on their starting lineup are Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. That would look very, very bad. So yeah, but unfortunately, guys, that's me for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that the Brooklyn Nets could be one of the best teams in NBA history if they add Andre Drummond? All your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the word to me. And like I said, if you watched this far in the video, obviously you liked the video. So hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button. Help a dude out. Like, you obviously like it if you're here at this moment. So just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It just makes sense at this point. So yeah, I hope you did like the video point. Hit the like button, subscribe button, like I said. All glory to God. Hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.